Ashlyn Oradocker families. This is our farm here in Ino, and I'm very happy to be here to read a book, our family's favorite book, The Story of Ferdinand. It's written by Monroe Leaf, and the drawings are by Robert Lawson. And with me is our new calf, who we've named Ferdinand. There's a lot of characteristics, just like the Ferdinand in the book. Very calm and happy and just content just being here in the sun and laying in the grass. I'm just so happy to be here to read to you guys. I do have permission from Penguin Young Readers Group to read this story to you today. All right, and I'll get started. The Story of Ferdinand. Once upon a time in Spain, there was a little bull, and his name was Ferdinand. All the other little bulls he lived with would run and jump and butt their heads together. But not Ferdinand. He just liked to sit quietly and smell the flowers. He had a favorite spot out in the pasture under the cork tree. It was his favorite tree, and he would sit in the shade all day, and he would smell the flowers. Comes Mom. Sometimes his mother, who was a cow, you could show it, Mom, would worry about him, as she is right now. She was afraid he would be lonesome all by himself, but now she saw he's with us, so it's okay. Mama, why don't you run and play with the other little bulls and skip and butt your head, she would say. But Ferdinand would shake his head. I like it better here, where I can just sit quietly and smell the flowers. His mother saw that he was not lonesome, and because she was an understanding mother, even though she was just a cow, she let him just sit there and be happy. Let's hope that's true. As the years went by, Ferdinand grew and grew until he was very big and strong. It's okay, Mama. All the other bulls who had grown up with him in the same pasture would fight each other all day. They would butt each other and stick each other with their horns. What they wanted most of all was to be picked to fight at the bullfights in Madrid. But not Ferdinand. He still liked to sit quietly under the cork tree and smell the flowers. One day, 5 men came in very funny hats to pick the biggest, fastest, roughest bull to fight in the bullfights in Madrid. All the other bulls ran around snorting and butting and leaping and jumping, so the men would think that they were very, very strong and fierce and pick them. Ferdinand knew that they wouldn't pick him, and he didn't care, so he went out to his favorite cork tree to sit down. He didn't look where he was sitting, and instead of sitting on the nice cool grass in the shade, he sat on a bumblebee. Well, if you were a bumblebee and a bull sat on you, what would you do? You would sting him, and that's just what the bee did to Ferdinand. Wow, did it hurt? Ferdinand jumped up with a snort. He ran around puffing and snorting and butting and pawing at the ground as if he were crazy. The 5 men saw him, and they shouted with joy. Here was the largest, fiercest bull of all, just the one for the bullfights in Madrid. So they took him away for the bullfight day in a cart. What a day it was. Flags were flying, bands were playing. All the lovely ladies had flowers in their hair. They had a parade into the bull ring. First came the banderillos with long, sharp pins and ribbons on them to stick in the bowl and make him mad. Look at all the cows watching. Next came the picadoras, who rode skinny horses, and they had long spears to stick in the bowl and make him madder. Then came the matador, the proudest of all. He thought he was very handsome and bowed to the ladies. He had a red cape and a sword and was supposed to stick the bowl last of all. Then came the bull, and you know who that was, don't you? Ferdinand. They called him Ferdinand the Fierce, and all the banderillos were afraid of him, and all the picadoras were afraid of him, and the matador was scared stiff. Ferdinand ran to the middle of the ring, and everyone shouted and clapped because they thought he was going to fight fiercely and butt and snort and stick his horns all around. But not Ferdinand. When he got to the middle of the ring, he saw the flowers in a lovely lady's hair, and he just sat down quietly and smelled. He wouldn't fight and be fierce no matter what they did. He sat and smelled, and the banderillos were mad, and the picadoras were madder, and the matador was so mad that he cried because he couldn't show off his cape and sword. So they had to take Ferdinand home. And for all I know, he's sitting there still under his favorite cork tree, smelling the flowers just quietly. He is very happy. The end. Thank you. I hope you